student get an iPad? I really think iPad could have served you like the next 10 years and it's fun. No, you don't need the thing is you don't need the highest update version. This one is not the highest update version. This one is like functional. And don't buy a new, buy like used. So this one is on sale at the time is $999. I bought it for $500 because the guy bought his wife for Christmas, and his wife's like, I don't like iPad. And he's like, what am I gonna do with it? You don't like it? That's why I hate giving my wife a gift. Because you give him something, it's like I don't like it. And what do you do with it?
You keep it for yourself. That's why you buy something you would want.
Honey, do you like this iPhone 14? You don't like it? Oh, too bad. Okay, I'll keep it. That's really smart, wouldn't he? Thanks a lot. But anyway, I'll have to roll. I'm sorry, I was streaming that. I totally do not want my wife to see that. Just kidding. He. That's what Luca does. Luca does like he says something really bad and he go he. No, it's pronounced Alpato. Okay. Alpato. Yeah, I'm not French. I don't know anything. I had Paige in first period, so she's French. She told me how to pronounce it. I can't pronounce it for life. Yeah. So the spelling is it's American accordingly. If when they say El Hospital, it's like American, but this is actually French. And I
learned this before. I thought we learned this at some point.
we didn't learn it.
I have a friend who is in and then he was like, Blue Hospital would be amazing. Like, this guy is a
Okay, so if lemon x approach the c of f of x over g of x, if that's indeterminate form, if this is indeterminate form, this is the indeterminate form, indeterminate form. And how many indeterminate form are they? 0 over 0. Very common one on AP exam. Infinity over infinity. This only two that AP exam is concerning. For the rest of them, there are few, which is we're going to introduce tomorrow, but you don't have to memorize it. It's going to be 0 times infinity. It's the indeterminate form. 1 to the infinity. Last one is 0 to the 0. This is not last one, sorry. Second to the last one. Also, infinity minus infinity. Now, we're going to cover this at BC, but I'm going to talk about it also at AB. But you are going to get, most of the time, AB exam is going to be here. They almost never test the other situation. They only test 0 over 0, infinity over infinity. Now, if this indeterminate form, this can be hold true, is limit x approach to c of f prime of x over g prime of x. Now, that looks like, make sure that's not a quotient rule, because quotient rule is low d high minus high d over low low. Let's just derivative to the top and derivative to the bottom. Sometimes L'Hopital rule is not in favor. Most of the time, L'Hopital rule is the best rule. So 80% of the time, L'Hopital rule can take care of the problem much more efficient compared to normal path of limits. What I mean by that is this. You've probably seen this question before in the past when we deal with chapter 1. Was limit x approach to 2 of x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. If I take a derivative of, if I go approach limit x approach to 2 of x squared minus 4, that's going to give me 0. Does that make sense? And limit x approach to 2 of the bottom is also equal to 0. So that means 0 over 0, therefore that means L'Hopital rule. But what we done when we deal with chapter 1, we said we never teach you L'Hopital rule until today. And we says there's 3 ways to do this, which is cancel and factoring. Do you guys remember that? And then you can cancel, plug in 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and the answer is 4. And then you say, oh, okay, that is review of chapter 1. But now we say there's another powerful tool that you can use now, L'Hopital rule. If 0 over 0 is indeterminate, so I'm going to show you L'Hopital rule. L'Hopital. So then you say, let's take a derivative of the top. What's derivative of x squared minus 4? What's derivative of the bottom? 1. Now plug in 2. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. It's so much easier, but there is 2 situations that you should avoid L'Hopital rule. One is something to do with conjugate. You don't want to deal with anything conjugate. So you actually do algebra when you have a square root. Because L'Hopital rule is actually make a problem worse. So at times you don't want to do L'Hopital rule, but I will show you which question when we go back to review all the multiple choice. Hopefully you haven't thrown that away, because we are going to go over all the multiple choice and make sure you understand them. So that's it. 4. I'm going to show you what kind of question can be involved. Let's just say limit x approach 0 of e to the 2x minus 1 over x. What happens if you plug in 0? Zero over 0. And what do? Take a derivative of the top and derivative of the bottom. What's derivative of the top? 2e to the 2x, right? What's derivative of the bottom? 1. Plug in 0, 2. Done. Is that easy? Sometimes you can get L'Hopital rule a second time. You get 0 over 0, and then you get 0 over 0 again. You can do L'Hopital rule twice, 3 times, 4 times. L'Hopital rule, long as you got indeterminate form, you can keep on doing L'Hopital rule. I have seen questions you have to do 3 times to 4 times. Not going to be on AP exam. On AP exam, it will show up probably 2 times. You have to do derivative top, derivative bottom. Plug in the value, and you still get indeterminate form. And then you do a derivative top and bottom again, and then plug it in. Usually will give you the result already. So therefore, that's L'Hopital rule. It's not too complicated. Sometimes maybe the function of f of x, and they might give you f of x